but we both knew that we wanted to be successful.
Yeah, 100%.
And in order to be successful, I think we both identified that vulnerability, transparency, and real relationships, like, hey, I need somebody who can tell me, hey, you wrong.
Yeah.
Or no, you right. Don't let these people shake you. Don't let these people shake you out here.
Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. I am Tabitha Brown. This is my husband.
I'm Chance, what's up?
Today we got a special guest, our brother.
Big Los, what's going on? Carlos Coleman, what's happening?
And bring the beat in.
Fridays with Tab and Chance.
Boom, boom, boom.
Fridays with Tab and Chance.
Say Friday.
Friday, come on, back it.
Y'all good?
It's Friday with Tab and Chance, man. It's exciting time.
It's the remix, bro. Because when Los come, you know.
He over here hitting on the table and beatboxing and all that.
I took that out. That was like a silent time.
You should have never put it in.
All right.
Well.
They want to, boy.
Welcome to Fridays with Tab and Chance. Today.
Icky.
No hate. That was good.
Where was it back?
No, it was not.
The way that thing came out there.
Your icky didn't hit.
Sticky icky. The icky wicky. Today, we have Los here. Y'all know Los. Him and Qatar came before. You know that's our brother, our sister.
Qatar gonna be mad. Y'all ain't got her on the show.
This is not.
I love you, baby.
This ain't got nothing to do with my sister. They won, so it's Los here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today is about you.
Keep that same energy with you.
Today is about brotherhood, right? Friendships. And I thought it'd be great to bring Los on in the room. And let's talk about y'all's friendship. Thank you to me. You know, how it started. How men come to navigate friendships as y'all have grown from very young men to grown men in y'all's 40s, right? So we can talk about how they met for those who may not know the story. I introduced them. I was working at Macy's. Los was working at Macy's.
Yes, I was.
Los used to have long dreads.
Locked out.
Chance used to have long dreads, kind of like Donna got right now, but way much longer. I used to do hair. That was my side hustle. Used to do the locks. Working in the Macy's. Actually, really the first person we met in LA. I'm at work, coming down the little escalator and stuff. Big Los hit me with the, hey, Shawty.
What's up, Shawty?
What's going on with you? I said, ain't nothing, I'm married, but I can do your hair. And it's been on ever since.
It has been, for real.
Hey, you know how many people gonna be like, and this is big. You know how many people gonna be like, man, how they brothers like that? He tried to holler at his wife.
Tried to holler smooth with it. But as soon as I was like, I'm married, he's like, oh, say less. But you do hair for real? Yeah. So then I went home that same day. I told him, I said, hey, babe, I met your best friend at work today.
That's exactly how she said it too.
He said, what? I said, I'm telling you, I met this guy. He gonna be your best friend. He was like, you ain't gonna, I'll make my own friends. You ain't gonna, because we had just moved to LA. You don't make my friends for me. I can make my own friends.
But she also told me, what? He tried to holler at her.
Yeah, I did.
How you gonna tell me?
I was like, but
the dude.
But what I
the
said
dude
was,
is my best friend.
But what I said was, he tried to holler at me. I let him know he didn't want nothing, but I'm gonna do his hair, so he finna come over here.
Hey, so you inviting the dude over?
Hey, she throwing
just
out
like,
spade
yeah,
after
I'm not.
spade after spade.
So I'm supposed to just look at it. Hey, you know, I know you tried to holler at my girl and everything.
Yeah,
She like, hey, yeah. And I know you at my house now.
Yeah, but that was 2004.
Mm-hmm.
It is 2024.
20 years.
20 years later.
20 years.
Who was right?
20 years.
Who was right?
I still don't like it.
You ain't gotta like me.
You were his best man.
Yes, he was. Best man at my wedding.
Right?
Best
Yes,
man.
he was.
So let's talk about how this friendship started.
He was
Right?
trash at Madden. Let's go ahead. Let's go get that
Oh,
out.
this finna be. I
Now
want black
listen,
and white.
I'm
so
trying
gotta
to
be
back
a
now.
referee.
But back then, we were passing them L's out. You was not.
Mike Vick, 07. Bam, 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 bam.
Hey, he used to be getting the beat down, babe.
Nah, he listen. We used to be going back.
Nah, we
and
going back and
forth.
forth. We played some good
Back
games, but
and
you know,
forth.
I was back.
Yeah, back and forth. Hey, listen. But we had so many. That's really where our bond came from. I'm thinking about all the conversations that we had over the sticks,
Yeah.
over the video game.
Before you go there, I want to go back to the beginning of when she said, like, the start. Like, I really did do all the things that she just talked about, but when I first walked through their door to get my hair done, because I was not going to get my hair done. I don't care.
I was beating everybody prices in LA.
Hey, she was beating them
Come through
hands
for the
down.
$40 on the lot.
I needs mine with a wash and a style.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it.
And how much was it?
40.
$40.
$40.
$40.
$40.
Yeah,
And so this man, my brother was on the other side of that door, and I couldn't ready to see him right off. But when he opened the door, he had the locks going. He looking at me like, who is he? And I'm looking at you like,
Move.
boo. Where is your wife?
Hey,
bro?
your
Trying to get my hair done.
But the reason why I want to say where we started with integrity. I think I know our friendship started with integrity because she was a married woman, new to LA. They had a child, invited me to their home to get my hair done. But when I met him, I didn't know all that she had told him at the time. But one of the first things I told him, sitting down in this house, was like, man,
Hey,
I tried to holler at your wife.
at your wife. Hey, you gotta think about, how does a man take that? Hey man, I tried to holler at your wife.
Yeah, for me.
Hey, but you was like, I know.
I know. That's that.
Yeah.
And that's when I started learning how to appreciate that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Honesty and integrity, yeah.
Yeah,
what
we started with integrity. That's how our friendship started, and it maintained that. Go ahead, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean
Back
that's
to me
a
whooping up you on that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no, that's a good point though.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. We did start with integrity, and it was one of the I think points in my life where you have to, as much as you want to be offended, you gotta be mature about that and have some kind of respect for it and acknowledge the fact, yeah, my wife nice looking. And if she won't, I wouldn't want to be with her. Right?
If they ain't looking, I don't want them. Oh.
And for a man to come in and be like, yeah, man, I did that. Not on no bad energy and be able to acknowledge it. You know what I mean? That was a part of my growth process, and like, yeah, you know what? I get it.
Yeah.
And can't sit here and wallow in that or take it personal past that point. Moved on. But when we was talking about the video games, I know it's a lot. I just heard a story from another close friend of ours, and she was she's not favorable of the video game and her husband playing it. And I remember thinking, like, wondering why. And now that we revisit this memory, I want to speak on that because we talked about over this video game. It's bigger than a video game, first of all. You know, it just,
So many life.
For a whole lot. for a lot. Like, you got your ones that they just lazy and that kind of thing. But before you get offended by it or threatened by your spouse playing the video game, maybe ask them why. Because I'm just going to list out some of the topics that we talked about that are very, very crucial in my current life. First and foremost, we talked about, this was the man I went to and talked to without feeling like I had to be, I had to dumb down my words or tiptoe around my words. He was the first man that I went to and talked to about the Bible and things that I struggled with. And it was over the PlayStation. Things that I had real, I would say now in hindsight, trauma from, to where when I was a kid, I couldn't ask a question and got casted into hell. But and he was one of the few people, men that I said, where he would say to me, I don't know. When he didn't have a response to the Bible. And he would go, because he was a faithful churchgoer, and this was all over the PlayStation sticks. And he would go, and I wouldn't even be thinking about it, and he would come back in, and we'd get on the sticks, and hey, I asked the pastor about that question, and he would break it down to me over while we doing this, cussing and fussing, and hike the ball, man, and in between that, we're talking about the Bible. Yeah. We really are, and digging in. Yeah. And we'll hit pause on that mug and chew on it. Where it's like he'll say, look, man, pause, hold up. Yeah. And we engage in a real conversation. We talked about our fathers, our childhood, our mothers, our childhood, trauma, love, family gatherings, the differences between our families, things that we were lacking, things that we had that were indifferent, things we didn't always come to the same conclusion or same head. We also talked about my wife, my current situation, he helped me get through, as I have mentioned before, probably one of the most trying times in my life. That was me moving to Los Angeles with a child while with my wife, who is in the physical not there, and dealing with the passing of her mom and us probably in the worst place in our marriage, talking about divorce, and played a significant role in gelling and keeping us together. In those moments, he sometimes was the piece that would say, hey man, we need to take a ride, or y'all need to calm down. And I'm talking about some awful fights, and it would be talked about over the PlayStation, right? Where I could hear him. And then last but not least, and then I'm just going over the ones that come to my mind right now that are most important, that are significant to, we now watching the Tab and Chance show. We may not be watching this if Los don't go down to the marina with me and hear me vent about how much I hate Tab. And tell me I need to carry my ass home. like you understand what I'm saying? Totally right. Like we watching the Tab and Chance show. We have been successful because people view us and our marriage, and him also reminding me of who I am in an environment where everybody was trying to strip me of who I was. But that police job is what allowed us to get here, to keep up, to sustain us to this very fruitful life that we have now. And at the very beginning stages, I was coming home to him, not coming home to Tab, because Tab wasn't there. I'm coming home looking forward to this dude waiting on me.
Because Carlos also lived with us for a while.
Yeah. He would be waiting, and I would be looking forward to just getting on the sticks, and literally I would cry. Tears roll down my eyes from what I was experiencing. I couldn't articulate, or I hadn't matured enough to where I could say it out loud, to where I'm in an academy where they're trying to strip me of my culture and my identity. And I always felt like I was a strong-minded, strong-willed person, but I had some of the most trying times during the passing of my mother-in-law, me and my wife at odds, trying to make sure that I do right by daughters, and coming into age of being a man without any role model. So the significance to the video game and how much of a role it played in just conversation, so much bigger than Michael Vick running routes and me running with the Dallas Cowboys, it was so much more bigger than that. It was about a place where we could sit down and maybe I could hide behind the controller and not have to look at him eye to eye, but be able to say what I needed to say that I couldn't say to nobody else, and it to fall on somebody's ears who was going through his own thing, right? And then I talked to this man about his current wife on that same thing.
Yeah.
And he came to terms with this is the woman, while we playing Madden, that I need to change I gotta get my stuff together.
Yeah.
I got a new motivation to why I need to clean up my act and do what I need to do to be the man that I want to be for her. So it's so much bigger than just playing a game.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, love?
I do. I think it was, we broke down we got very vulnerable very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning stages of our relationship. And even now, we still keep that level of transparency and vulnerability. Many moments, you know, when I finally got my job that one time, I was out of work for a little bit and I'm at the crib and I got the call, you got the job, I gotta go. Cut the game off, I'm gone.
Yeah.
But all of the things that he's saying, you know, we were talking over the trip and just like not realizing how early on in y'all marriage it really was.
Yeah.
Right? Not realizing that just that time, that juxtaposition of time, and just seeing in y'all a promise of what could be, because the thoughts that I had before I ever moved out to LA. But at the same time, seeing in him, after having brothers coming from Memphis, coming from Atlanta, I got a group of brothers that are my heart, that are my love, but I came out here, I didn't know nobody. You know what I'm saying? And so meeting y'all and meeting him, I got a chance to see in one person with a lot of different characteristics that reminded me of them. So that was one of the initial things that really, I see him, right?
Yeah.
And I see the various sides of him that may be off-putting to others, but it ain't off-putting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I also see that there's levels to me that people don't readily cozy up to, I should say. Welcome, yeah. And he was just like, I see that side of you as well.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
Take
not
you as you are.
As you are. It was really as you are. And those moments were real foundational moments of growth out in a space, a foreign territory, a familiar spirit. Both of y'all being from the South, you know what I'm saying? That just was hands down.
Which made it a whole lot easier.
100%. That made it the relatability of, like, when we start talking about our mamas and our daddies and our upbringing and those things where, like you said, our path wasn't the same, but some of our resolve was in the midst of wanting to be better, desiring to, shake whatever this thing is that can kind of grab me in the South to keep me here or keep me held down. I'm gonna latch on to something that's gonna help me grow. And so all of those moments, man, I'm forever grateful for it today. And I think to sustain those things is to be able to, over that time period, because that's a long time, and to still have fresh energy, to still have fresh conversations, to still have new likes, new interests, even today, speaks to the depths that we went to build that foundation. You know what I'm saying? To now build upon that. And it's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing,
for
man.
real.
Now, I want to know, just, you know, because we're talking about manhood friendships from both of y'all. What is something you look for? I mean, I know you just said, and both of y'all said, like, the similarities, right, made y'all feel comfortable. But what was it about each other that allowed y'all, because I know for a lot of times it's hard for men to let their guards down. What gave y'all the comfort to be vulnerable with each other so soon? Like, what was it that said, I feel safe enough to share my truth, to cry, to be real, you know, with, you know, quote unquote, a stranger at this time that you were getting to know? Because it happened very quickly.
I don't think, it seems like it happened very quickly, but I don't want to lose sight of, I don't want to, it was quick in terms of what your normal, I guess, man relationship is. But to answer your question, what I really think it was is we both shared this one thing in common. The bigger thing is that we were in a uncharted place,
Like a foreign territory to
foreign
both of y'all.
territory. Yes, in need of something,
Yeah.
right? A relationship, some relatability, and where we related at was easy to identify. We related in the fact that he somewhat knew what he wanted to do, and I somewhat knew what I wanted to do, somewhat. But we both knew that we wanted to be successful.
Yeah, 100%.
And in order to be successful, I think we both identified that vulnerability, transparency, and real relationships, like, hey, I need somebody who can tell me, hey, you wrong.
Yeah.
Or no, you right. Don't let these people shake you. Don't let these people shake you out here. Or you know what I mean? So I think it was that, in being able to identify that we wanted to be successful, and in order for that to be, we had to acknowledge that along with that success, we can't be like the average man.
Yeah.
And not show vulnerability, transparency, say I don't know. You had to know when. There's an opportunity to fake it till you make it. But you can't apply that to everything.
Yeah, not everything.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I had came out of, a group dynamic with my brother, like I said, moving out here and not knowing anyone, and that he's real, finding a person, and finding y'all to be able to say, that's for me, I do that. But I never took myself too seriously, right? And I think that's for me personally when I meet people. I try to meet you with love, I try to meet you with grace, but if I can see certain things that may not jive, I'm cool on that, right? But at the same time, when I say not taking myself too seriously, I was never one to need to close off who I was in conversation. Because even our first conversation, I'm just talking to y'all about what I was dealing with, what we're going through. It wasn't to put it out there. Some people put stuff out there as bait.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hoping that they'll latch on to it or hoping that somebody...
Dry big.
Yeah, that. And so I realized early on I wasn't doing that. That wasn't my intention. But to be able to catch on and latch on to those conversations, we're like, okay, he ain't just saying that to try to show off. I ain't saying this to try to show out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to one-up him. He ain't trying to one-up me, because sometimes you get in those type of situations too. But that desire and that drive to be successful because I dropped out of school right at that time. I dropped out of college at the time. I was 2 years in, left school, went into the workforce, and I'm driving 3,000 miles away to go get to something that's going to be much greater than me, because it's something beating inside. And to find him in that same space, married now, with a child, I'm like, oh, okay, I ain't too far off then, maybe, right? Where you maybe think like I'm a long way away from a goal that's, sometimes probably unattainable, but seeing that, okay, young, vibrant, okay. And then for me, it was just, once I know. Once God tells me, and I'm settled in my spirit that this is a good person, this is a good dude, and I see we're gonna be in this for a long time.
Yeah.
That was real. That was early on, right? I didn't know what it was gonna look like. I didn't know how it was gonna grow, but I was just like, man, we're gonna be friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
I just think that's important to talk about for men. I think it's important for women and men. In this day, I feel like more people, specifically, especially like Black folk, we are becoming more successful than ever at younger ages. We're making more money than we ever were able to make before, because of like social media and the internet, right? And because of a lot of success, and we know personally, we found ourselves losing friends.
Yeah.
And so to find a friend or a friendship that has weathered all storms, I think it's important for people to know, like, oh, this is how it started. This is how you know the root is good. But to that point, has there ever been a time, I know, one time that I just be laughing out of my head, that
Let that go, man. Go ahead.
they feet was hurt. They friendship almost ended. Because both they
It wasn't going in.
It wasn't going in.
It wasn't going in.
They about to know if you, but they was about to fight because both of them had on some Stacey Adams. And them,
Hey, them dogs.
them
was
dogs
dogs, boy. I had to sit
and
down.
baby, they were mad at each other because they were mad at their feet. But has there ever been a time where you thought, hey, I don't know if our friendship gonna get through this hump?
Not me. Because unlike the difference between Los and every other male relationship that I've had, and I don't want to offend anybody out there. I mean, it is what it is, right? What I appreciate the most is I learned how to say to another man that something hurt my feelings. Vocalizing it. I've always been able to express that something hurt my feelings, which has not always been the right way because I can express it with these hands.
You ain't always been able to express.
Yeah, I'm talking about, but I would express it the wrong way. Is what I'm getting.
You know what you was expressing.
Express yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
and I thought, you know what I mean, when something hurt my feelings or something bothered me or, right, but I can just think about on the majority of times where we have been at odds, he and I have been able to, whether we like it or not, hey, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah, 100%.
And this and whether it is agreed upon, it's reciprocated. You get what I mean? Like it's like you wrong, but I'm gonna hear.
Yeah.
And so I never felt like I can't think of one time to where it was like, because I really treasured that.
Yeah.
I really treasure. That's what I treasure about our relationship the most. I don't never have to worry about burning no bridge. Because we started on like real transparency, like a thing of like, just like, hey, darling, you know. It was just really real. So I've never had a moment to be like, our friendship is gone. You know what I mean? I've had times where it's like, I got to figure out a way to talk to him about this, which I treasure that too.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole lot of people I'd be like, man.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
I'm gonna tell him like I don't really care if it hurt his feelings or not.
Yeah.
He's probably the one person that I do more times than I done popped off at him. You know what I mean, and had to say I'm sorry. But most times I consider him and like, man, how I'm gonna tell this dude? Like, how we gonna have this conversation? And is it a needed conversation? You know what I mean? Like, so I can't think of a time.
So what about
we've
you?
had some trying moments where it's like, you know, but we resolve them.
Yeah, I feel the same. I've never had a moment where I can think back and say, man, this is a wrap. You know, but I've had those moments where it's just like, we need to grow from here.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's been moments where it's been that over anything. Because I've adopted, you know, since being married and things of that nature, I don't go through anything, I grow through everything. And so we've grown through so much that it was like, oh, we need to grow through this. Because, like you said, he ain't never had no issue with saying how he felt, and I ain't never had no issue saying how I felt. And in those moments of understanding, it's like, all right, I said what I felt. I ain't coming at you wrong, but I'm coming at you to let you know you was wrong, right?
Yeah.
And it's been like that vice versa. Or it's been where it's like, you know, the moments where we've had, hey man, Los, you know what's going on with this situation? You know, well, we've had some real, that's the only moment
Yeah.
then with the script and, you know, those years with the play.
Somebody stole from my wife.
Well, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Well, Tab had wrote a dope script, and she had hit me about it. She hit a couple other friends about it. And this is about 2010, 2011, right when my career was about to take off.
Lo said he gonna put the details.
I mean, if we go
Go ahead.
It is what it is.
All right, fast forward. I did the play, great play, and it didn't dawn on me that the play was taken from my sister. Name was changed, and the way that it came is circumvented, and this system can play a game on you in so many different ways. He calls. he wasn't happy about it because you all know how he feel about his wife and anybody taking food off her plate.
My wife's script.
You know
She
what I'm
wrote
saying?
that.
And so we getting into it, we talking, and we having a real moment of contention of me not understanding, him trying to figure out, well, Lord, how you didn't know this? How you didn't know that? And I'm like, man, I didn't know. I didn't. But after hearing him, understanding where he came from, and hearing me about, well, this is what it was, X, Y, and Z, we came to that resolve. Because for me, what I realized in that moment, this industry is not going to break me of those things that I know to be true to myself, which is honor, integrity, love, family, friendship. And those things mean more to me. And so in that moment of where it could have broken our friendship, I made a decision on my own. Like, you know what? Let me just call them and tell them I'm done with this project. Right? Because the friendship means more than what I could possibly do in this industry, right? And where I could possibly grow in this industry.
Yeah.
And from that perspective, that's the only moment where it could have been.
It was trying.
It was trying, but even in that, like
I'm
he said,
the one that got stole from, but I was all right.
We talked about it, and we had real, like he said, we talked. It was an instant moment. Like, hey man, I need to talk to him, and I'm pretty sure he had to think about it. How do I bring this to him? Because he knew my desires as an actor, as a voice artist.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so those things, and I think today, when I think about the ability to say I'm sorry, or the ability to apologize, the ability to, you know, realize it ain't even as big as we thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And to brothers that you spoke kind of about being in this position of a new life and the growth and all those things. For men out there, I would say to y'all, like, if you have friends that you know that are growing and elevating, you really got to know how to check your own ego too.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you edge God out with your own ego, then you'll forever fall out of relationships with your friends.
Yeah.
That's a very
This is a good transition moment.
like, so look, Los is one of the first people who I encountered that will he's the person that taught me how to not what you call it, glaze over stuff. This dude, is something going on,
Let's talk about it.
He gonna hit you like, and I had never experienced that with nobody but my wife. And the appreciation, he'd be like, hey fool, just like that. Hey fool, we good? And he want a hug, he gonna dap it out, and we gonna, nah fool, I need to know. And he gonna look you in your eye, and you gonna have to address it. And he gonna let you know we ain't got time to glaze over that. That's the only friend I got like that. And this is the best relationship I got. Let that be, I need y'all to hear that. He's the only friend that I have to where, no, we not gonna walk past each other.
And act like it ain't happened.
We ain't doing that. Any uncomfortable energy. If he leave, he gonna call, hey, well, something didn't feel right. Hey, this, on multiple occasions, he has called me or has
Or double
come to the
back.
house. He'll come back.
I will come back.
Which means the world to me, especially in this new space. It always meant the world to me. This ain't nothing new.
But you realize how important it is
But I realize how important it is.
It's a special thing.
And because it's a gift. Even with those who I literally would grow up with or who raised me, who partook in my life, and who now want to claim or be able to put stake in because of the perception of what, you know, I say perception because they have no idea of what is happening in our life. And he has firsthand idea and insight, and they don't have the same significance or play the same role. And they're quick to bail out on us, right? So now, you know, it's very much so appreciated. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world.
So you said something that leads me to this next moment. And with how y'all's relationship started, the integrity, the love, the vulnerability, the openness. Have you ever had a relationship that started the same, but it did not stand the test of time? Like you thought it was gonna be like, this is my brother. It's rooted in this realness. Because I know me personally, I have thought I had a forever friend, and it was rooted in realness and vulnerability. But as a man,
I'm itching.
let me let Los.
Hey, go
Let
ahead.
you
Then
simmer
I'm
down a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Because sometimes I think sometimes we might miss a sign that lets us know maybe this is not.
No, don't do that. Don't. You see what she doing?
No, I'm trying to talk to Los.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You gonna get your moment for whatever it is that you want to say. But I know I'm saying for me personally, I think I poured into relationships and had relationships that I thought was being reciprocated, and I thought it was rooted in realness. But when I look back on the relationships that did not last, or something simple broke that relationship up, I realized, I missed the sign that it wasn't really rooted. It wasn't what I thought it was. I wanted it to be what I thought it was. I wanted it to be what I created it to be in my mind, but I missed a whole lot of signs. So that's my personal take on that. But I'm asking for both of y'all, because this friendship is 20 years long. Has there been friends that you may even be even longer or shorter or whatever the case may be, but you thought, hey, this is my brother, like we really, this is rooted.
Yeah.
It can't be broken. And did it break? And what was the thing that allowed you to open your mind to to grow through this moment? Because I think a lot of men don't know how to vocalize that.
Yeah. I can start. I've had some of those relationships, mostly here in LA. Growing through one currently that I just kind of keep close to the vest. But I had one brother that I really tapped in with when I was early on, and we still know each other to this day. Still talk to this day, but the relationship is not what it was, right? Distance played a part in that. But also I realized, in the sense of how we talk about being able to handle someone's growth and success, I began to see and feel certain little jabs, right? When my brother was up more so than I was at a certain time, by perception, that relationship was different. But the beginning of me being seen on social media or being seen with Tab and Chance and not understanding that this is
20
day
years.
21 years of friendship. You
First
know what I'm
friend
saying?
in LA.
And some of those moments where it's kind of trickling over into that, those conversations, I'm like, hey man, I've known you for a long time and you've known me to be this way. I ain't switched up on you. And you ain't switched up on, you starting to switch up on me, rather, in this regard. And we recently had a conversation towards the end of last year. Well, it was a heart-to-heart, where I had to just call him on some things that I thought and I was thinking. And it was reciprocated to where he was just like, you know what, I've never had anyone talk to me like that.
That's your gift.
You know what I'm saying? He literally was like, man, most of my friends, we don't get to this place where we get to talk about what we really dealing with. And I told him, I'm like, bro, I don't know no other way than to talk to you, because the way I'm feeling behind what I'm thinking, we ain't gonna be talking. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some other conversations to be had. And so we really hashed it out and we dealt with it. So I still talk to him, but I know now, personally, I didn't really see any signs of it becoming that.
Until you already in it.
Until I was in it, right? And then as I was in it and the more it became to come out, I'm like, oh, okay. I would hear a few things here, like a little sneak diss, the little sly remarks, the little, not remembering of people's names that you've heard for years, but now no, don't cross me like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna mix you like that, especially if I know your family, I know your friends, I know, you know what I'm saying? All of those things, to me, matter.
Yeah.
Right? My upbringing, when people came into our house, if you cross that threshold, then there's something to be said about you and why we were allowing you in and what that meant. And so, I haven't had to fall out with too many friends, but these moments now is really making me take a pause and a step back to think about sometimes where I give too much information in the front end. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how to be anything else.
Yeah, why can't you just live your life out loud if you desire to do that?
Yeah, so.
But do you think that sometimes people can truly just grow apart?
I do.
And
Yeah,
it ain't
I
gotta
do.
be no shade, no judgment, no jealousy. Our season has come to an end.
I'm learning to understand that because I think if it's growing apart, then what made the tear in the first place? That's how I feel about it.
Man, tap me in, man.
You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, if it's you know what I mean? If the separation is, if these things are together, what caused it to separate? You know what I'm saying? In the first place. So I'm learning to come around to that space of thinking that it could be nothing, but my gut says that ain't the case. It's always something. And that's why I'm gonna come back. That's why I'm gonna call again. Because if it's, you know what I mean? It was a moment all of us was on the phone where you didn't understand my nuance. I felt the way. Remember I said that one time on the phone, and he was like, hold on.
I don't remember what
I remember. What was
it was COVID. It was Tara's birthday. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was Tara's birthday, and I had invited y'all over for the birthday. Y'all couldn't make it.
Yeah.
because it was COVID.
Yeah. And so it was other stuff going on.
That's funny to me now.
Yeah, because y'all was having people over. Chance was scared of COVID during
Hey,
that
I feel
time.
some kind of way.
Yeah.
Like, Los, it's COVID,
It's
bro.
Lowe's was like,
Hey,
I ordered shrimp, vegan shrimp, and everything.
I had it right. I made sure my phone.
I remember that.
And so
I love it though.
when I said it, like, hold on, right? You like, what? Los, what? What's going on? You know what I mean? But it was in that moment, like, I feel away. So let me understand if my feeling is valid or not. And once we had the conversation, all right, I'm gone. Hang up. The love is still. It's a wash, right? So that's why I got to come back. And when you're not willing, if there's separation that has happened, and you saying for nothing, then that means we should really be able to talk about it.
Yeah. This is okay.
Now, I want to make sure that I understand the question. Right?
The question
Because, okay, go for it.
is, are there friendships that you've had that were rooted in realness, like you said with Los, it started off with integrity, with realness, where you thought this is a forever friend. I can't imagine it being broken or never being, right? And that friendship did not last as a man, right? And what were the signs that you noticed? Did you miss a sign?
Yeah.
Or did it just get to a place where it's like, oh wait, this is just the end of our season?
I'm gonna come back to that end of the season thing. But so I thought it was right because I wanted it to be right. But if you ask me now if it started like me and Los, we had similarities. There's one person who I'm thinking about. We had similarities in our pursuit in law enforcement and trying to find success in it. We had similarities in our choice of sport. We had similarities in how we loved our wives. A lot of similarities, right? But the thing that I think that I would contribute the success to our relationship, all my great relationships we did not have, which is vulnerability and transparency. And a commitment to always be that in our relationship. To be able to say, I feel some kind of way, or I'm afraid. And I thought in the beginning stages that because of all those other commonalities, right, all those other things, that if I did that in abundance, I could get him to let his guard down. If I told my truths, if I shared, if I showed vulnerability, transparency, that one day you'll be able to see and see the reward of doing so, and how I am laying myself out for you, that one day you'll feel comfortable enough to do the same thing for me. However, it didn't happen that way. Now, that is my fault, because that person never signed up for that. All right. There's no pointing of the finger that you're the reason why our friendship didn't last. And I'm not saying that the friendship is completely over. I'm saying I still love them, and I feel like I feel like that's the answer to all of the failed relationships. Unfortunately, I got more than one. And I would feel bad if I didn't mention this. Los told me that in the beginning of the relationship, that you're doing you in his own way, you working too hard. No.
It was a one-sided.
It was a one-sided relationship,
friendship.
and that he concerned. And I, in my own way, told him, like, Los, what we have can be special. Ride with me on it. And he rode with me on it. And through the times, we're the last two standing. And we would tell each other about certain relationships and have conversations and be like, man, why this dude don't share, man? We gotta, we had our own little men's group to where we were trying to build on this. And we still got a small group. But
The
I
spirit
think
is still there.
Yeah.
The spirit is still there.
But I still feel like it is difficult for men in transparency and vulnerability. I think that's where it comes down to that one thing, to why it has not been successful. Now, going back to growing apart, or just in your life for a season, if that means until you can grow in transparency, right? And if you're going through that season of coming to that, maturing in that, then I get it. I don't feel like that for the majority of my relationships, though. And I'm gonna put that on the record. What I truly feel is what he said earlier. When I was down, you wanted to be my friend. It was okay when I couldn't afford it. I couldn't have it. I couldn't do it. It was okay. The minute that we were able to just get a toe in the door to have something, even if we wanted to share it, boat ride, new experiences, travel, encountering new people, we shared it all. No matter what we shared, if I could partake in it, and if I was able to say no and control my own narrative, I feel that is where the discomfort happened. The only person in my circle, the only person who has sustained, who has been close enough to be in it and see it, I got 3 men. 3. Percy, Louis, and Los. Everybody else, in some form or fashion, that is what I truly feel. Because when I was putting on a bulletproof vest and my life was on the line and I said, I can't afford it. I can't go this time. Or when me and my wife was in odds, not on the same, everybody was happy and embracing me. When I'm going through depression about how I am as a father, who I am as a father, who I am as a husband, who I am as a son, the man that I stand before in front of God, when I'm struggling with that, the only time that they wanted to deal with me was then. You wanted me at every function. When I'm entertaining, when I'm being your card guy, when I'm out here being the butt of your jokes, that's when they wanted to be around. That's when they wanted Chance around. When everything was crumbling, but when we started building, and I started encountering people who see me, who want me to speak, who want to hear what I got to say, and telling me, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not a good look for you. My brother right here would not allow me to go on stage. One of my first times getting on the stage, and I know I'm being long about it, but this is real dear to my heart, because people don't know what we are currently going through. I was nervous because I was dealing with imposter syndrome and I couldn't identify it. And I ain't never had to deal with nothing like that or never would admit it anyway. I was taught to, man up. And I'm about to go on the stage and there's celebrities up there, people who the world know. I'm still looking at myself like, don't nobody know this dude. I'm Tab's husband, just a dude. Don't nobody know me. And if they do know me, they're not gonna like me. That dude's a cop. He a sellout. This is my truth. Man, I'm about to go up on the stage. They come in 15 minutes and somebody offered me a drink or something. And I said, yeah, I'll take one. Somebody said, take your drink, man. And I'm not really a drinker like that. I took the drink. And right before they was getting ready to come and get me, he stopped me. First and foremost, he made sure that I look good, because he know how important that is. He asked me if I'm nervous, reassured me that I was supposed to be there and it's okay. Told them people, no, he need 15 minutes. Hold off. You ain't looking good. That drink ain't settling in on you right. These are things that typically my wife do for me. But when she can't do it, it feels amazing to have somebody who you know really give a damn about you. When I'm up on the stage, I can look at him and he can get me together, because he know I want to look good for my wife. It ain't always gonna be her. And I don't feel no kind of way about it. I don't feel no kind of way about it. I can make eye contact with this man and we can identify, and he can tell me in my own way, hey, you leaning? Hey, fix your sock. Hey, get yourself together.
Come on now.
And these are all real things that happen while I'm up on that stage with these people who have been in this environment before. He didn't bail on me. He didn't look at me and say, I'm gonna let him fail. He didn't look at me and say, I don't like him when he looking this good. He didn't look at me when I pull up in the new car that my wife bought for me in my retirement and have no kind of sour feeling. He didn't look at me. He didn't do none of that. That is what he told me. Stop hiding your car, drive your car. That's what he told me, right? That's real friendship. That's what real family is. We don't have no blood, none of that. But that's my family.
Yeah,
so when I'm making my selections and I'm doing things on people that I can help for in these days, I consider all of that. And I couldn't wait to say that. Because I've been bottled up, and I love you, bro. I'm gonna love you for the rest of my life. And I don't give a damn who don't like it.
Me neither. I love you too. You know, man, I'm from Atlanta side, and we don't that when it comes to like saying stuff like that, if you can't see and be happy for your people, if you can't be happy for your brother, that's some sucker shit. It's some sucker stuff. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that just, it doesn't bode well for my heart, right? It doesn't bode well for me as a person, as a man. You know what I mean? All those, because I've had people look out for me. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you come up in as a young man, a teenager, your young adult years, and you with your peers, y'all raising each other in so many ways. Yeah. And so some things come good, some things come bad, some things come quicker, some things come slower. But what does stay the same is if I can see you and I want the best for you, then that's what I want. And if I see you want the best for me, then what else we talking about? And if anything else comes in between it, then let's talk about it. Let's deal with it. I realized early on when I would tell my brothers I loved them. Yeah. it wasn't always the quickest to be reciprocated. But I had to do it for me because I remember praying I wanted brothers. You know what I'm saying? And when my best friend got taken away from me, God opened the door for many more, right? And now I hold those relationships in
Close to your heart.
close to my heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that it's black men, brothers, that we are truly like breaking down isms and schisms and years of whatever trauma may be, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes you like using that word as a cliche word, but
Yeah.
because what I came up in for me wasn't trauma. It was my life, right? It built character. It built this man that can sit here at this table and really look at your husband and look at y'all and say, I love y'all. Like, and it's a genuine to the gut feeling. And if anybody got something to say about it, come holler at Los.
Well, I'm grateful
Here come the petty Lowe's. Here come the
that I
petty.
told you
I knew it. I knew it.
that I met your best friend
I met him.
in November of 2000.
Oh, folks. Yeah.
But I am grateful
Yeah.
that my husband has you as his brother, that you my brother,
Thank you, Todd.
and that y'all have seen each other both grow.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful. I've had a front row seat to witness it. Manhood be literally put on a timeline in front of me. Like I got markers where I can say, all right, I remember when they was both this. I remember when they was this. I remember this. Like, and we're still going strong at that. I do know it is hard to lose friendships or go through tough seasons. But I've seen both of y'all weather those storms.
We ain't always weather them.
Individually and separately.
No.
Hey, sometimes y'all was on there. Hey, sometimes it's been, but I done seen it.
Yeah.
But even through that, that's growth.
Yeah.
Right? So I just thought that this would be a great episode to talk about friendship from a man's point of view.
Yeah.
Because I think the stigma is that black men can't love each other openly. And this weird, like, barrier the world has put on y'all, it can be broken down.
Yeah.
And this is proof that you can have true brotherhood and true friendship without blood, and it can be fruitful. You can go through hard times and you can get through them if you communicate, if you have integrity, and if you genuinely love each other, right? So I'm just proud of both of y'all. Love y'all. And you know, you welcome.
Close out the show, Close out the show.
Well,
Hey, hold on.
what? That was a good way to
Go
end.
ahead. What you
Thank
gonna
y'all for
say?
coming. God bless you.
Hey, man. You remember how Lowe's? You
Came
remember
up
how
the
Lowe's came up the steps?
Big boxing up all the steps the first time he met Chance.
Hey, so look, I know we're gonna close it out. But I did this at his, I was his best man at his wedding.
Yeah.
And this is like one of my fondest memories of him. And then one of the things that really, right off the bat, that I always think about, that I loved about him, was like, yo, he's comfortable. He's confident. And I hadn't had that many men around me like that, right? A lot of my, that was one of the things that I was always trying to instill. I never lacked confidence, like, you know, with just being myself in my neighborhood. I got some in my eye. But so go back to the story. Telling me that this dude coming over to the house, all right? And this dude then hollered at my wife, right? Tried to holler at her. So I'm waiting. When we had, in LA, they got barred screen doors, right? Gated doors. And we lived at the very top
51
of like
stairs.
50 some plus stairs to our apartment. No elevator, none of that. You just got to walk up outside, right? And I'm sitting in there in anticipation, and Tab giving me the act right speech before he coming, right?
Like, be nice, babe.
You
He
know,
a
act
cool
right. He a
dude.
cool dude, right? And I'm like,
Because my
I'm
spirit
grown, man.
ain't never
I'm grown.
wrong.
I'm grown, man. I don't need you telling me how to act, man. I don't know why you got this dude coming to the house anyway. You know what I'm saying? Why you charging him $40 anyway? Like, you know, I'm being that dude. And you hear, I'm not lying, y'all. I'm not lying. I hear.
Coming up the steps.
Big Los is in the house. And he started freestyling. And he
come to the door, get my hair done.
Get my hair done, get the twist with the bun in
For the
it.
party. Yeah, like, yeah.
L. Hey, that
Yeah.
joker, he hitting it by
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
up. That boy, he is rapping all the way up the steps.
Yep.
And I look at Tab in the kitchen
Like, this who you got coming to our house?
man, when he came up, he used to wear like a lot of colors, man. He gonna be matching everything. That joker was matching. Came in the crib, this big old smile, man. What up? What up, shouted? And when I came in, I'm looking at him through the screen door like,
Trying to
oh
mean
my
mug.
God.
Hey.
I let him in. He dapped me up hard.
What up, I'm low.
I'm low. What up, man? What's your name? When you say your name is?
And that's how it began.
That's
These
how
all
it began.
facts. Yeah, these is all facts.
And
I said, I just was like, I don't want to like this dude. I don't want to like this dude, man.
you'd already sealed the deal.
I don't want to like this dude. And he walked in, and he was like, "Oh, you be on that Madden? Oh, go ahead, turn it on. I'm gonna wear you out." Just like and hey, and Tal brought the chair in there,
Started
doing his hair,
while they played the game.
and we played the game.
I think it was a pink towel, if I'm not
That
mistaken.
joker, hey, hey,
Hey, but Lo still comes in the house
just like that.
freestyling
Hey,
to this day. We
or
ain't got no
singing.
steps no more.
Or singing. He either singing
Yep, he
or
coming
he
in.
rapping coming in.
Or he's coming in stepping because he the dogs. He the
Root to the good bros.
Yeah, I'm honorary.
Hey, she love the kills.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta know. She the bruh.
I'm
She love the kills.
However,
I had to tell that story. I had to. I just man.
so
Hey, led us to going to the car wash.
Come on.
Trying to get her car straight.
see that? But
Hey, we got stories for days.
to end this, in the words of my brother Lowe's, you see how Blackie came when we said that you was the brothers and you was a cute dog. See that? Blackie said, yeah.
Where the dogs at?
In the words of my brother Lowe's, the more things change, the more they
things
stay
stay
the
the
same.
Yes, they do.
And with that, honey, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope all the men out there, y'all take time to love on your brothers, love on yourself, be open, be vulnerable. You deserve that and you're worthy of it. All right? And until the next time, honey, y'all gonna about y'all business, okay? Have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Him? Very good. We'll see y'all next time when Tab be putting people together and things. You welcome. Yeah, I did that. Thank you for watching this episode, honey. And if you liked it, go ahead and click right here for more of those episodes.
And if you haven't already subscribed, please remember to do so.
Very good.